Good morning. We are live. My name is Judge Tamika West, and I will be presiding over your first appearance today. If each individual will raise their right hand so I can swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the information included in your application for court-appointed counsel, as well as the information you will give to this court today, will be true and accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I first would like to make some opening remarks. First, this is your first appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We are not here to try your case or to take a plea. You are here for the court to inform you of your charges against you, advise you of certain rights, set bail on those offenses for which the court is authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during these proceedings may be used against you if your case goes to trial. Doing this and other proceedings, you have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You also have the right to an indictment by the grand jury for most felonies or by accusations for misdemeanors. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to hear cross-examine witnesses who may testify against you. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses in your own behalf by subpoena. You have the right to testify and offer other evidence in your own defense, should you choose to do so. But should you choose not to do so, no presumption of your guilt may be raised. You also have the right to an attorney. You also have the right to have an attorney represent you. At this point, we will appoint an attorney to represent you if you are eligible for the court-appointed attorney. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bond for your release from jail pending prosecution of the case, which may be cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone would deliver the full amount of the bond in cash, together with applicable mandated fees, to the sheriff's office, who will hold it until you're found a court date, at which time the cash bond will be returned to the person who posted it. If you use a commercial bonding company approved by the sheriff, someone will have to pay the company up to 15% of the total bond amount as their fee for their service. This fee will not be returned. Someone may post a bond using their property if they have net equity in the property in an amount equal to 3 times the total amount of the bond. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going around certain places. These special conditions will be provided to you on a separate form. You will also be prohibited from calling or having other contact with the victim while you're in jail. Should you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you will not be entitled to another bond while awaiting trial. An additional charge of aggravated stalking, influencing witnesses, or other charges as the law may provide could be brought against you, for which you could be sentenced up to 10 years in prison and up to $20,000. For family members who will assist you in posting bond, they will be provided with information of your bond amount after we have concluded the first appearance calendar today. If a family member is a victim on the warrant and there is a special condition you are to have no contact with that family member, he or she will not be allowed to post the bond. Again, if you have a family member that is a victim on the warrant, there is a special condition that you're not to have contact with that family member. Thus, he or she would not be allowed to post the bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a superior court judge, and you will be informed of that court date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set a bond. Again, if you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set a bond. Your bond can be reconsidered after your probation officer has the opportunity to determine if they wish to file a warrant for violation of your probation, usually during your preliminary hearing. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine if there is enough evidence or probable cause to justify keeping you detained until such time as your case goes to trial. For those of you charged with misdemeanors only, you will have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Waiving your hearing will not affect your rights to post bond, your right to have an attorney represent you if you qualify for one, or your right to a jury trial. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived, and you will be mailed a notice when to appear in state court for your arraignment. If you cannot make bond, you may waive your preliminary hearing and be taken before a state court judge, at which time, if you plead guilty, you will be sentenced. If you plead not guilty, a trial will be scheduled. If you choose to have a misdemeanor preliminary hearing, the hearing will be scheduled for May 18th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. For those of you charged with felony offenses, you will not have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. And your preliminary hearing will be scheduled on May 19th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. That concludes my opening remarks. If the first inmate will step forward. And when you step forward, please state your full name for the record.
My name is Naja Anthony.
Spell your first name for me, Miss Anthony.
Naja.
Miss Anthony, you've been charged with 2 offenses. One offense of driving without a suspended license, and the second offense speeding in a 45-mile zone. Your total bond amount is $2,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes.
Can you make bond?
Yes, I can.
Did you complete a form for a court-appointed counsel, Ms. Anthony?
That was the form that you gave me this morning. Yes, I did.
Okay. Based on your responses, I am approving your request for court-appointed counsel. And then lastly, I have scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 18th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Since you can make bond, would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the calendar?
I'll keep it on the calendar.
Okay, do you have any questions?
So I either have the option to pay the full cash bond or find someone on the outside that can do the 15%.
Well, I'm not involved in arrangements for bonds, but you are welcome to speak with your attorney about how you make arrangements to make bond. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
State your full name.
Giovanna Della Michelle Nash.
Okay, and spell your full name for the record.
Javanna Nash Nash.
Okay, and your middle name?
Dellamychelle. It's misspelled on there.
You said it's misspelled?
Yes, it's M-I, it's supposed to be M-Y.
Okay. Ms. Nash, you've been charged with 2 offenses. One offense of family violence, battery, and one offense of criminal trespass. Your total bond amount is $7,000. Do you understand the offenses as well as your bond amount?
Can you repeat the bond amount, please, ma'am?
$7,000.
Okay.
There's the family violence battery bond amount is 5,000 and the criminal trespass is 2,000. So for a total of 7,000. Can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 18, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Since you can make bond, would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or would you like me to keep it on the calendar?
Can you waive it for me, please?
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Waive it for me? You said,
Yes,
I-
I'm sorry. Your preliminary hearing, I've scheduled it for May 18th. Of
yes,
20
can you waive it?
You have the option of waiving if you can make bond. If you cannot make bond, it's best to leave it on the calendar.
Okay,
So would you like me to leave it on the calendar or would you like to waive it?
I guess leave it on the calendar until I make mine.
Okay, and so if you make bond, then it will you can automatically waive the preliminary.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not finished. If you can make bond, there are certain conditions that are included in my bond order. The first condition is you must stay away from an individual by the name of Jordan Nash. Do you know who Mr. Nash is?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's that?
My brother.
Okay. Per my order, you have to stay away directly, indirectly, which means you cannot mail, you cannot email, you cannot page, you cannot telephone, you cannot use a third person to communicate with Mr. Nash, and you cannot communicate with any immediate family members that's related to Mr. Nash. Do you understand that? In an attempt to communicate with him. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Secondly, are you familiar with the address located, address 2421 Rex Road, Ellenwood, Georgia, 30294?
Yes, ma'am.
What address is that?
My home address.
Okay, so you currently live there?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, since the alleged incident occurred at that location, and this is considered a family violence, I am going to prohibit you from returning or going to the premises located at 2421 Rex Road, Ellenwood, Georgia, 30294 while you're out on bond. You still have personal belongings at that address?
My home home.
You say yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to include a provision which will allow you to schedule an appointment with the Sheriff's Office of Clayton County to accompany you to that residence so you can retrieve any undisputed personal property. You have to make this appointment within 10 days of your release. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Lastly, you cannot violate any laws while out on bond. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, did you complete a request for court-appointed counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
Any located here?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, you had a question?
No, I thought you had said something.
I didn't hear you, Ms. Nash.
No, I had thought you had said something.
Okay, no problem. Based on your responses on the court-appointed form, I will approve your request for court-appointed counsel. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge. Catherine Rochelle Wilson.
Okay.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
On her CAA form, they had it as Mattox, not Wilson.
Yeah, I have that. Okay, on my paperwork too. So it's mad. It's okay. Please state your spell your full name for the record for me.
Yes, ma'am. Catherine, Kathryn, Rochelle, Roshell, Maddox, Mattox.
Okay. Ms. Maddox, you've been charged with one offense of no trespass. Your total bond amount is $2,000. Can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 18th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am, keep it on the calendar.
Okay. Also, you completed an application for court-appointed counsel. It says, it states here you do have a job and you earn approximately $3,200 a month. Does that vary or
Yeah. It varies, yes, ma'am. It varies. Because we get paid weekly, and so therefore the amount could be different, depends on the hours that we work.
okay, and what would be like a range?
So if it's not 32, it'd be like 2,500.
Okay, based on your response, I am approving the request for court-appointed counsel. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is it for ladies, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll take the males now.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
How you doing this afternoon?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. We've got 3 from medical, so if it's okay with you, can we go ahead and start with those 3?
Yes, can you tell me their names?
Yes, it's gonna be Masori Sum Ben Anwar. That's Anwar last name.
Okay,
And the next is gonna be Mr. Parker. Jerome Dejon Parker, Parker. Jerome.
okay.
And then the
So
next
that's-
one, okay, I think that's gonna be, hold on, what's this? Come on, what's your third? Mr. Powell? Come on. And the last one, Your Honor, last one's gonna be Mr. Powell, Earl Powell Jr.
Well, I have is is it Shelley Earl Powell?
Shelley, sir? Shelley? Yes, Shelley
Okay.
Earl Powell Jr.
Okay.
Powell.
Okay, I have it.
Okay, you got it. You wanna start with Mr. Anwar?
Yes, if you could turn
Okay,
on your
Mr.
camera and
Anwar.
have them step forward.
Okay. Pretty nice. Okay, pronounce your name and then say it loud and spell it.
Good afternoon, Judge, ma'am. My name is
I'm sorry, Deputy, can you turn on the camera for me, please?
Mustafa bin Anwar,
Got it? Got it?
Thank you.
Mustafin.
Okay, and your last name is Anwar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, you've been charged with 2 offenses. 1 offense of criminal trespass and 1 offense of interference with government property.
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
total bond amount is $3,500. Can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you understand the offenses?
I do.
As a condition of my bond order, you are not to return or go to the premises located at 5280 Riverdale Road, Collegeport, Georgia, 30349. Do you recognize that address, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I do. It's Sun Food Market.
Okay, this is a supermarket?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir, because the alleged incident occurred there, I'm prohibiting you from returning there to the premises while you're out on bond. Do you understand that?
I completely understand.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 18th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the calendar?
I'd like to keep it on the calendar, please.
No problem.
If I waive it, is there a problem? Is there an issue? I can waive it too. It don't really matter.
Well, we can keep it on the calendar. If you make bond, then it will automatically be waived.
I mean, I can make bond.
Okay, so then it'll automatically be waived if you, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep it on the calendar in the event that you don't make bond, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, I reviewed your request for a court-appointed attorney. You have your estimated income at $5,000 a month.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, based on your responses, you do not qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
All right.
Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, so Your Honor, next is gonna be Jerome Parker.
Okay,
Okay, Jerome, I'm gonna have to go up here. That was good.
if you could just go down just a little with the camera. Okay, that's good.
Good there? Okay.
Thank you. Yes, sir, please state your full name for the record.
Jerome Parker.
Okay, Mr. Parker, you've been charged with 2 offenses, including violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act and obstructing an officer. Your total bond amount is $12,000. Do you understand the offenses as well as your bond amount?
Yes.
Can you make bond?
Yes, sir.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 19th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Also, based on your responses on your court-appointed application, I am approving your request for court-appointed counsel.
Yeah, Honor, is there any kind of way I can get a lower bond?
Unfortunately, no, sir. One of your offenses is considered a felony. Okay, any other questions?
That's gonna be all of them.
Okay, thank you.
Next, Your Honor, is gonna be Mr. Shelley Powell.
Please state your full name for the record, sir. Mr. Powell, you've been charged with 3 offenses, including no license, DUI, alcohol refusal, and open container. Your total bond amount is $7,000. Do you understand the offenses as well as your bond amount?
Well, I have my driver's license, I just didn't have one.
Okay, I understand that, sir. Again, the purpose of this hearing today is to inform you of your offenses as well as your bond amount. If you're disputing the accusations and the charges, you can present that at your preliminary hearing, as well as your trial if it goes forward. You understand that?
Yes.
But I just want to make sure you understand the charges as well as your bond amount.
Yes.
Can you make bond?
Can you lower it a little bit?
Unfortunately, I cannot, sir.
No, I try.
You also completed an application for court-appointed counsel, is that correct?
Yes.
Based upon your responses, I will approve your request for court-appointed counsel. Do you have any other questions? Thank you.
Okay, Your Honor, that concludes the one from medical. And I have 2 extradition, and I also have 2 also for the translation.
Yeah, we're gonna take those last. So we're gonna,
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna take those.
I'll go ahead and start then.
Okay.
Okay, sir. The first one, Your Honor, is gonna be Mr. Brooks. Hold on, sir.
Please state your full name for the record. Okay, I have it as Ernest Tony Brooks. Is that correct? Is Ernest your first name? Okay, Mr. Brooks, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is simple battery, and the second offense is simple assault. Your total bond amount is $9,000. Do you understand the offenses as well as your bond amount?
Yes,
Okay, can you make bond?
I believe so.
As a result of your record, because you have a prior offense dealing with the simple battery, sir, I am going to upgrade the family violence charge to a felony under state law. Do you understand that?
No,
Okay, do you understand that you had a prior conviction for family violence?
yeah, yes.
Okay, so this new charge is also considered family violence. It says that you were family with the victims. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, so based on that, sir, you'll get your preliminary hearing. I'm scheduling for May 19th. If you would like to dispute that, I'm scheduling your preliminary hearing for May 19th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. 2001. But I am going to go ahead and set bond for you, but you will have to appear at your preliminary hearing. Okay. Also, as a condition of my bond order, you have to stay away from, there's to be no contact with 2 individuals, Marilyn Brooks, I'm sorry, my light just went out, and Amara Brooks. Do you know who those 2 individuals are?
yes.
Okay, who are those 2 individuals?
One of them is my wife and the other one is my granddaughter.
Okay, because the incident involves those 2 individuals, that I am going to include a no contact in my bond order, which means you have to stay away absolutely directly, indirectly, which means you cannot email, mail, page, telephone, or go through a third person or an immediate family member to communicate with those 2 individuals. Do you understand that?
Yes, but I don't have nowhere to go. That's my wife.
I understand, sir. Like I said, this is just my condition while you're out on bond. Okay. Okay. Secondly, you're not to return to the premises located at 262. Is it Canterbury Drive, Jonesboro, Georgia? Do you recognize that address? What address is that?
That's my house.
Okay, sir, since the alleged incident occurred there, you're not to return to those premises, and particularly since it involves family violence. But I am going to include a provision that will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff of Clayton County to accompany you, if you can make bond, to the residence to claim any undisputed personal property while you're out on bond. You understand that?
Yes.
Also, you cannot violate any laws while out on bond.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you did complete your application for court-appointed counsel. Based on your responses, I am approving your request for court-appointed attorney. Do you have any other questions?
No. Well, yes, will I be able to talk to my wife?
No, sir. But remember, let me be clear. As a condition of my bond order, there's a no contact. That means no verbal communication, no written communication. You cannot directly or indirectly communicate. Is Marilyn Brooks your wife?
Yes,
That's what it means, sir. That's why I want to make sure I'm clear. There's a no contact order in the bond order, which means you cannot communicate with either Marilyn Brooks and Amara Brooks indirectly, directly, by mail, by email, by pager, by telephone, by a third person. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand that, but that's the only way I'll be able to get my bond.
Okay, so you remember when I made my opening remarks and I stated that if the alleged victim is included in the warrant, they cannot make arrangements to make bond for you because they are the alleged victim. Do you understand that? So you can speak with your attorney about making arrangements for bond. Any other questions, sir?
I'm gonna have a court appointment.
Yes, I've approved your request for a court-appointed counsel, and they will be in contact with you.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brooks.
Go back.
And if you would just give me a minute, our lights are on. No, I'm finished, Mr. Brooks, with you. Our lights are on automatic timer, so let me turn on the lights here, and then we can resume.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, I'm ready for the next individual. Okay, please state your full name for the record.
Good morning, I'm Quail Brown,
Okay. Spell your first name for me.
AAWANN.
Okay. You've been charged with 3 offenses, including an expired registration, violation of Georgia controlled substance, and possession of marijuana. Your
Yes,
total bond amount is $7,000. Do you understand the offenses as well as your bond amount?
yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you complete an application for court-appointed counsel?
I didn't understand the question, but yes, I want one.
Okay, yeah, I'll need to, I see it now. Okay. Also, I have your preliminary hearing scheduled for May 19th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
On your court-appointed form, you indicated that you have a job and you didn't provide your monthly income. Can you give me an estimate?
I have a structured settlement as a result of my left arm.
Okay,
I receive 2,300 a month with, yeah, 2,300 a month.
so that goes under, do you have any money or, okay, I see what you're saying. So, but do you currently work?
No,
Okay. So I am going to approve your request for court-appointed counsel. Do you have any other questions?
no, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, back up, please. Step up. Cop, right? Let us know your name.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good, how are you, sir?
Well, my name is Isaiah Cox. Isaiah Lamont Cox.
I'm sorry. Okay, you gotta give me your name. Okay, I said Cox. Okay, you were telling me your name.
Yes, ma'am.
Isaiah Cox, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Cox, you've been charged with several offenses, including failure to stop at a stop sign, failure to use a signal light, violation, let's see, there are 4 violations of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of drug-related materials, and being in the possession of a weapon during a crime. Based on your offenses, which include several felonies, I'm setting your bond amount at $61,000. Do you understand the offenses as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
Okay.
As we can go.
I have your preliminary hearing scheduled for May 19th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Did you complete a request for court-appointed counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your response, I am approving your request for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions?
Is that the lowest my bond could go, ma'am?
Yes, that's my order, sir. The total bond amount is 61,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
State your full name.
Raymond Patrick Dawkins.
Okay, Mr. Dawkins, you've been charged with one offense of criminal trespass. Your total bond amount is $2,000. Do you understand the offense as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 18th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing? If you're unsure about whether or not you can make bond, I can leave it on the calendar, and then if you make bond, it's automatically waived.
Okay, you can leave it on the calendar.
Okay. Did you complete a request for court-appointed counsel?
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay. Also, sir, as a condition of my bond order, I'm directing you not to return to the premises located at 5504 Mariah Lane, Forestport, Georgia. Do you recognize that address?
Yes, ma'am.
What address is that?
What's part?
5504 Mariah Lane. Do you recognize that address? What address is that? Who lives there?
Father's house.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Father's house.
Your father? Did you say your father, sir?
Yes, my father's house.
Okay. Do you have any personal belongings at that address?
Yes, ma'am. I have-
Okay, sir, because the alleged incident occurred at that address, I am prohibiting you from returning to the premises. However, if you do have personal belongings at that address, I am including a provision that will allow you to schedule an appointment with the sheriff of Clayton County to accompany you to that residence to claim any undisputed personal property. However, you must make this appointment within 10 days of your release. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, you cannot violate any laws while out on bond. Okay, sir? Lastly, based on your responses, you indicated that you do have a job, but you did not provide your monthly income. Can you give me an estimate? Or it says yes and no. Did you mean no? You don't have a job?
I'm currently looking for a job. I'm currently looking for a job.
You said you're currently unemployed?
I'm looking.
You're looking? Is that a yes, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking for a job.
Okay. Based on your responses, I will approve your request for court-appointed counsel. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. This is Jimmy.
Good afternoon. Please state your full name.
Program.
Spell your last name for me, sir.
FERBIL.
Okay, sir. You've been charged with several offenses, including violation, being in possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, use or possession of drug-related items, one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, and a fraudulent driver's license. Based on the offenses that you've been charged with, as well as the fact that you're on probation, I am denying your bond today, sir. Do you understand the offenses as well as your the denial?
I understand the offenses, but I don't understand the denial.
Okay, so are you according to my review of your records, you were sentenced to 3 years probation in April of 2018. Are you currently not on probation?
Yes, I'm currently on probation, but I don't think it's 2018. It's 2017.
Okay, sir. Well, unfortunately, you remember when I made my opening remarks, if you're currently on probation, I'm not authorized to grant you bond. However, I have scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 19th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Also, I've scheduled your bond hearing. So if you would like your bond reconsidered, there will be a bond hearing on May 21st, 2021 for you to present that to the court.
Let me ask you this, what other way, how can we, go about this probation thing?
Well, no, you'll have an opportunity if you would like your bond, if you would like your the denial of your bond to be reconsidered, that will be addressed at your bond hearing scheduled for May 21st.
So I have to wait till May 21st?
Well, you have your preliminary hearing scheduled for May 19th. So if there's not sufficient evidence to move forward, then you know you may be eligible for bond. But as of now, on the calendar, you have your preliminary hearing scheduled for May 19th. Okay, and then the bond hearing is scheduled for May 21st. Also, sir, based on your responses on your court-appointed form, you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. I will approve that request. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, I just have questions on this denial of bail. So you basically tell me I have to wait till the 18th for the 21st for.
Well, what I'm telling you, sir, is that you've been denied bond and your first court date is May 19th. That's my order. Any other questions?
Was I denied bail because of probation?
Because you're currently, yes, you're on probation, sir. And in my opening remarks, I stated that if you're out on, I'm not authorized by law to grant you bond if you're out on probation. Any other questions? Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Keaton Labazon.
So your last name for me, sir?
YYYY.
You said LABYZON? Okay. Mr. Is it Laban?
Labazon.
Labazon. Okay, Mr. Labazon. You've been charged with several offenses, including improper lane change, driving without a license, theft by receiving stolen property, possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, violation. There are 2 violations of Georgia Controlled Substance Act and 1 violation of possession of marijuana 1 ounce. Based on the charge offenses, which also include felonies, your bond amount is set at $33,000. Do you understand the offenses as well as the bond amount?
Well, except for one of them is, I thought it was under an ounce. 'Cause on the scene, she weighed up and she said it was 15 grams.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's possession of marijuana less than an ounce. You're correct.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All
So
right.
your total bond amount is $33,000. The separate amount for that for the less than 1 ounce is $1,500.
So
But your total bond amount is $33,000 with the various charges. Do you understand the offenses as well as your bond amount?
yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 19th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Also, let's see here. You completed an application for court-appointed counsel. Based on your responses, I am approving that request for court-appointed counsel. Do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Eric Martin.
Okay, if someone could move the camera just a little down. Thank you. State your full name again, sir.
Eric Martin.
I'm sorry, I have Lopez next. I'm sorry, who's,
He's gonna be, the interpreter.
okay. And then you are Mr. Martin? Okay. Mr. Martin, you've been charged with 2 offenses, 1 violation of the seatbelt law and 1 offense of suspended license. This is your 2nd offense. Based on the offenses, I'm setting your bond amount at $2,000. Do you understand the offenses as well as your bond amount?
Ma'am,
Can you make bond?
again,
I have scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 18, 2021. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, I keep it on the calendar just in case.
No problem. And then you also completed a form for court-appointed attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're currently unemployed?
You see, you're unemployment right now. I didn't put it on the paper.
You said you are employed?
Unemployed. I receive unemployment right now.
Okay. Based on your response, I am approving the request for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. State your full name, sir.
Marcus Clayton.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Marcus Payton.
Payton, okay, Mr. Payton, okay, I have you here. Mr. Payton, you've been charged with 1 offense of criminal trespass damage to property. Based on my review of your record, I'm not authorized to grant bond today since you are on probation, a 10-year probation for aggravated assault. Do you understand the offenses as well as the no bond? I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 19th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. and then your bond hearing will be scheduled for May 21st, 2021 at 8:30. Did you complete an application for court-appointed counsel?
It's the sheriff, guy.
Based on your responses, I am approving the request for court-appointed counsel. Do you have any questions? Okay, thank you. State your full name. Mr. Pitts, you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery. Based on my review of your record, I'm not authorized to grant bond today. Therefore, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 19th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. and your bond hearing will be May 21st, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Do you understand the offense?
Yeah, could you repeat those dates for me again?
You said that your hearing dates? The first one is May 19th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. And then your second hearing date, that's for your bond hearing. The first date I gave you was for your preliminary hearing. That is to determine if they have sufficient evidence to continue to detain you.
Okay.
And then the second will be your bond hearing
On the 21st.
on the 21st.
All right.
Okay, and did you complete an application for court-appointed counsel?
I did.
Okay, based upon your responses, sir, unfortunately, I'm not, you're not eligible for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, Judge.
State your full name for me.
Joel Maurice Quincy Sr.
Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery. It is a charge that includes, let's see here, family violence, since the victim, the alleged victim, Ahmad Quincy, live at, I'm assuming, it appears you live at the same address at 702 Brookwood Drive, Forestport, Georgia. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Based on my review of your information, I've set your bond at $5,000. Do you understand the offense as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
I believe so, ma'am.
Okay. Well, since you're not certain, sir, I'm going to leave your preliminary hearing date, which is scheduled for May 18, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. on the calendar. And then if you can make bond, it's automatically waived. You understand that? If you can make bond, as a condition of my order, there is a no contact with Ahmad Quincy. Is that your son?
My stepson.
Your stepson? Okay, you cannot make contact with him. There will be a no contact order included in the bond. So that means you have to stay away. Absolutely, directly or indirectly. You cannot email, mail, page, telephone, communicate through a third person, contact him at work or through immediate family members. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Secondly, because the alleged incident occurred at 702 Brookwood Drive, Forestport, Georgia, you're not to return to those premises while you're out on bond. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me ask you this, do Ahmad, is that what based on the warrant, it says that he lives there, does Ahmad still reside there?
No, I kicked him out.
Okay, sir. You kicked him out, okay. Okay. For now, I'm gonna leave it as part of my bond order. If you would like that reconsider, you can speak to your attorney about that if he no longer relies, if you can provide proof that he no longer resides there.
Thank you.
But as a condition of my order, I'm gonna keep it in there, but I will include a provision that you can schedule an appointment with the sheriff of Clayton County to accompany you to the residence to retrieve any undisputed personal property. You have to make this appointment within 10 days of your release. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, you did complete a request for a court-appointed counsel. And
Yes,
just to clarify for the record, you're a senior, is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Based on your responses, I am approving the request for court-appointed counsel. Do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Please state your full name.
You Maurice Muncie Jr.
And senior is your father, correct? Sir, you've also been charged with 1 count of family violence, battery. Your bond amount is set at $5,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount? Can you make bond? I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for May 18, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the calendar?
Keep it on camera, please.
If you can make bond, sir, as a condition of my order, it's a no contact with respect to Ahmad Quincy. Is that your stepbrother? Okay, sir, as a condition of my order, you have to stay away, absolutely, directly or indirectly, from Ahmad. You cannot email, you cannot mail, you cannot page, you cannot telephone, you cannot communicate through a third person or family member with respect to Ahmad. Do you understand that? Since he's considered the alleged victim. In addition, since the incident occurred at 702 Brookwood Drive, Forestport, Georgia, you're not to return to those premises while you're out on bond. Do you have personal belongings at that location, sir? Okay, as a condition of my order, I will include a provision that you can schedule an appointment with the sheriff of Clayton County to accompany you to that residence to retrieve any undisputed personal property. However, you must make this appointment within 10 days of your release. You understand that? Also, you cannot violate any laws while out on bond.
Understood.
Did you complete a request for court-appointed counsel, sir?
Yes.
And based on your application here, you're unemployed? Based on your responses, sir, I am approving the request for court-appointed counsel. Do you have any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
State your full name.
Clifton Craig Wetzel.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
You've been charged with 2 offenses, 1 offense of loitering and 1 offense of criminal trespass. Your total bond amount is $2,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
If you can make bond, as a condition of my order, since the alleged incident occurred at 1106 Shoreham Drive in Clayton County, Georgia, I'm prohibiting you from returning to those premises. Do you recognize that address?
I do not. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay. But you were you at that address? Based on the warrant, it appears that you at some point at that address.
I was at that address. I won't be returning after this.
Okay, what address is that though? Who lives there that you know?
Oh, no one lives there. So I was at a music event at a venue called the Grand Fumé, and I went outside to get some air and I got lost. And the officers had detained me by telling me that I matched footage of breaking and entering, but I wasn't presented the footage, nor do I think I matched that description. But after getting detained, they brought me in and gave me the following charges. But I'm not even from Georgia, Your Honor. I was here for 1 day. I drove here 12 hours. I got lost, and now I ended up, incarcerated. And I promise you, when this all gets over, I'm back to Maryland, and this state will never see me again or hear trouble from me again.
Okay, well, sir, if you can make bond, you have to stay away from those premises. Also, I know you indicated you're out of state, but you are required to, well, you can waive it, but you have a preliminary hearing scheduled for May 18, 2021.
Yeah,
Would you like to waive that preliminary hearing, or would you like me to leave it on the calendar?
we can keep it on the calendar, but I should be able to make bail.
Okay. And then do you need did you complete an application for a court-appointed attorney?
I did.
Based on your response, sir, I am approving your request for court-appointed counsel. Do you have any questions?
Yes, so is 25 the full amount for my bond, or is that plus fees?
I'm not certain about bond fees, but the bond amount is $2,500.
Okay, no more questions.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So you may, Commissioner White.
Okay, Mr. White.
Hello.
Spell your first name for me.
Wemetrious.
Okay, middle name is D-S-H-A-Y.
No, okay.
Mr. White, you've been charged with 2 offenses, including criminal trespass to property and battery. Both of these offenses involve family violence. Therefore, I've set your bond amount at $9,000, and I've upgraded the battery charge since you had a prior conviction in March of 2020 on a simple battery. Do you understand the offense as well as your bond amount, the offenses?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. Since I upgraded your charge, sir, your first preliminary hearing is scheduled for May 19, 2021 at 8:30 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond, sir? You're not certain, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You say yes? Okay. If you can make bond, sir,
Yes,
as a
ma'am.
condition, let me finish. If you can make bond as a condition of my bond order, you have to stay away from, is it Melina Mincy? There will be a no contact order. Do you know who Melina Mincy is?
My wife.
Okay, as a condition, since she's considered to be the alleged victim here, as a condition of my bond order, there's a no contact, which means you have to stay away absolutely, directly, indirectly. You cannot email, mail, page, telephone, communicate through a third person or a family member with respect to Miss Mincy. Do you understand that?
All right, can I still see my community though?
You can speak to your, let's see, attorney about that. Did you complete your court appointed form?
You know?
So based on your responses, you would qualify for court appointed counsel.
Yeah.
Also, as a condition of my bond order, since the alleged incident occurred at 1459 Isleworth Circle, Riverdale, Georgia, I'm prohibiting you from returning to that location. Is that your home residence, sir?
No?
You said no?
Yes.
It is? Okay. Do you have any personal belongings at that location?
Yes.
Okay, sir. I will also include a condition that you can schedule an appointment with the sheriff of Clayton County to accompany you at that residence to retrieve any undisputed personal property.
Okay.
Okay, you have to make this appointment within 10 days of your release.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, we just have the two fugitives and the one, well, two of them need the interpreter.
Okay, let's do the interpreter. The two that needs an interpreter. This is a good time for me to go off the record because unfortunately my light has went out again. So I'm gonna get the interpreter on the phone and then I'll go back on the record.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And one of the people that we're doing the extradition with, they also need an interpreter. So it's three total. Two of them need an interpreter.
Okay, so we'll do the two that needs an interpreter, and then which individuals that then we'll do him while we have the interpreter on.
That's gonna be Mr. Lopez.
For the two for extradition, I have
Santana.
Santan and White.
Yeah, Santana and Lopez need an interpreter.
Okay, and then one of the other remaining defendants need an interpreter? Lopez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I got you. Okay. So we'll do Mr. Lopez first when we go back on the record.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I have two. I have Lopez and then Jarquin. Is he still?
He bonded out.
Okay, but. Okay, so we just need one. Okay, let me get the interpreter on the phone and then I'll come back on the record.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
No problem.
Let me turn this up. I'm gonna put you on speaker. I'm sorry, ma'am, are you still there?
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay, I just want to make sure I can hear the interpreter. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, we're going to go back on the record, and if the defendant can speak loudly so the interpreter can hear him, please state your full name for the record.
Vamos a regresar al acta y si el acusado puede hablar bastante fuerte para que el intérprete lo pueda escuchar, diga su nombre completo para el acta.
Joel Eli López Puluc.
Noel Feliz López Tuluc.
Sir, you've been charged with one offense of driving unlicensed. Your bond amount is set at $1,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Señor, usted está siendo acusado de manejar por primera vez sin licencia. Su fianza serían de $1,000. Usted entiende las acusaciones y también la cantidad de la fianza.
Sí.
Yes.
Can he make bond?
¿Puede usted pagar la fianza?
Ya la pagaron.
It's already been paid for.
Okay. I've scheduled his preliminary hearing for May 18, 2021. Would he like to waive the preliminary hearing?
Voy a agendar su audiencia preliminar para mayo 18 del 2021. ¿A usted le gustaría renunciar a su audiencia preliminar?
If he's unsure, we can keep it on the calendar.
Si usted no está seguro, lo podemos dejar en el calendario.
Yes.
Let him know that I will keep it on the calendars.
Lo voy a dejar en el calendario.
Also, I reviewed his application for court-appointed counsel.
También ya revisé su solicitud para un abogado asignado por el tribunal.
Based on his responses, he does not qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
Basado en sus respuestas, usted no califica para un abogado asignado por el tribunal.
Okay.
Does he have any questions?
¿Usted tiene alguna pregunta?
¿Y puedo salir o no? Voy a pagar una fianza.
And am I able to be released or not, since the bond has been paid already?
I don't handle bond arrangements, but the bond amount is
Yo no
$1,000.
manejo.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm so sorry, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Please inform him that I do not handle bond arrangement. However, the bond amount is set at $1,000. If he can make bond, he will be released.
Yo no manejo los arreglos de las fianzas, pero la fianza está en una cantidad de $1,000. Si usted puede pagar esa fianza, usted puede ser liberado.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank him.
Gracias.
Thank you. Gracias a Dios.
Please state your full name.
Jose J. Santana Rojas.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, this is the interpreter. I was not able to hear the defendant.
Okay.
May I ask this repeat?
Yes, real quickly, sir, do you need an interpreter or can you understand me?
Yeah, because I want to understand couple things, you know. I can tell you couple things in English, but I want to understand, you know.
No, I just want to, but I don't just want to make sure if you, I need to clarify whether or not you need an interpreter or Spanish interpreter.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll need to speak through the interpreter.
Yeah, okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we don't get confused. You understand that? Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, based on the records that I've received, you are considered to be a fugitive from justice. Therefore, I'm not authorized to grant you bond today. Do you understand the offense as well as the no bond order?
Basado en lo que yo he recibido, usted es un prófugo de la justicia. Por esa razón, no puedo autorizarle una fianza. Usted entiende cuáles son las acusaciones y también que no puedo fijarle una fianza.
Puedo explicarle rapidito a ella.
I can explain fast.
Okay, before he explains, please allow me to inform him of his rights with respect to, there's been a request for extradition. So let him know that I'll need to inform him of his rights before he can make any comments.
Yes, Your Honor. Antes de que usted me pueda explicar nada, tengo que informarle acerca de sus derechos. Usted está puesto para extradición. Antes de que me diga algo, tengo que explicarle sus derechos.
Okay.
First, again, my name is Judge Tamika West. This hearing is what is called an extradition hearing.
Primero, de nuevo, yo soy la juez Tamika West y esta audiencia es lo que se le llama una audiencia de extradición.
All of the rights that I have advised everyone of early also apply in your case, but your hearing is a bit different from the other first appearance hearing that have taken place today.
Todos los derechos que yo he realizado aquí también aplican para usted, pero la audiencia de usted es un poco diferente de todas las que han tenido lugar antes del día de hoy.
First, you do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County.
Primero, usted no tiene aquí acusaciones pendientes en el condado de Clayton.
You have been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you in another state.
Usted ha sido traído aquí al tribunal porque tiene usted acusaciones pendientes en otro estado.
The state of Pennsylvania is requesting that you return to the state to answer these charges.
El estado de Pensilvania está pidiendo que usted regrese a ese estado a responder por estas acusaciones.
My first question is, are you in fact Mr. Santana?
Mi primera pregunta ¿es usted, de hecho, el señor Santana?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you already have an attorney representing you in this matter?
¿Usted ya tiene a un abogado que ya lo esté representando en este caso?
No, porque voy a llamar cuando me dejen hacer la llamada porque yo no sabía que tenía estos cargos porque nunca me llegó nada por correo. Incluso yo manejo otro de un estado a otro y no sabía nada.
No, because I will be calling one when you let me place my call. I didn't know, I was not aware of the charges, that I had charges at another state. I never received any mail or anything like that. I actually drive a truck from state to state, and I never knew of that.
Okay. You are being charged with a fugitive from justice as follows.
Usted está siendo acusado de ser un prófugo de la justicia, tal como sigue.
This hearing is being conducted in accordance with Georgia State Law, Title 17, Chapter 13.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you please repeat that?
Yes. This hearing is being conducted in accordance with Georgia State Law under Title 17, Chapter 13.
Thank you. Esta audiencia está siendo conducida en concurrencia con las leyes del Estado de Georgia bajo el título 17, capítulo 13. Okay.
It is alleged that you are charged with aggravated assault based on the affidavit or the information we received from the state of Pennsylvania.
Se alega que usted está siendo acusado con agresión con agravantes bajo la declaración jurada e información que recibimos del Estado de Pensilvania.
You have a choice as to whether you wish to contest extradition.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you please repeat that?
You have a choice as to whether you wish to contest extradition.
Thank you. Usted tiene una acusación por la cual usted quisiera contestar esta extradición.
No, está bien, que me extraditen.
No, that's fine. To be extradited.
Okay. Also, I'm required to inform him that he can waive extradition and be returned to the other state without going through the formal extradition process.
También debo decirle que usted no puede renunciar a la extradición sin que primero se haga el proceso formal de la extradición.
If you decide that you wish to contest extradition,
Si usted decide que usted desea disputar la extradición,
the court may commit you to the county jail for an initial period of 30 days.
el tribunal le puede remeter a usted a la cárcel del condado por 30 días.
¿Me puedes repetir eso, por favor?
May I please get a repetition of that?
Okay. If he decides that he wishes to contest extradition,
Si usted decide que usted desea rebatir o disputar la extradición,
the court may commit him to the county jail for an initial period of 30 days.
el tribunal puede admitirlo a la cárcel del condado por un periodo inicial de 30 días.
During that time,
Durante ese tiempo,
a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for extradition to the other state.
thank you, Diana. Can you please repeat that?
Sure. During that time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for extradition to the other state.
Thank you. Durante ese tiempo, una orden de arresto se va a preparar bajo la firma del gobernador para la extradición al otro estado.
Está bien que me extraditen.
And that's fine to be extradited, that's fine.
Okay. The court may consider allowing him to post bond, but the court is not required to allow bond in his case.
El tribunal puede consentir que usted pueda poner o pagar una fianza en su caso, pero la corte, al tribunal no se le requiere eso.
I am not setting bond in his case at this time because he's wanted by another state.
No voy a fijar una fianza en el caso de usted en este momento porque usted es requerido por otro estado.
Y, ok, está bien. Y una preguntita, ¿cuánto llevaría que me extraditen?
May I ask for a repetition from the defendant, Your Honor?
Yes.
¿Me puede repetir, por favor?
¿Cuánto llevaría que me extraditen? Más o menos.
How long would it take for me to be extradited?
Well, he has 30 days if he fights. If he waives it, then it will be pretty immediate.
Bueno, tiene usted 30 días, pero si usted renuncia a eso, sería inmediato.
Me gustaría inmediato, está bien. Que me extraditen.
Then I would like for it to be immediately. That's fine.
Okay, let him know that I still have to complete, I still have to inform him of all of his rights.
Aún así tengo que informarle de todos sus derechos.
Okay.
Okay.
If he does not wish to voluntarily return to the state of Pennsylvania, he can file a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you please repeat that?
Yes. If he does not wish to voluntarily return to the state of Pennsylvania,
Y si usted no desea voluntariamente regresar al estado de Pensilvania,
he may file a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition.
usted puede hacer una presentación de habeas corpus para impugnar la extradición.
No, it's fine. I want extradition.
I want the extradition.
Okay. I'm still obligated to continue to inform him of his rights. Please let him know that the writ of habeas corpus can only contest 4 things.
Aún así tengo que terminar y estoy obligada a decirle acerca de sus derechos. Y el habeas corpus contiene 4 cosas.
The first issue is whether the extradition documents are in order on their face.
La primera es para ver si las órdenes de extradición están en orden de su parte.
Secondly, whether he is charged with a crime that actually exists in the state of Pennsylvania.
El segundo es de que si usted está siendo acusado de un delito que existe en el estado de Pensilvania.
Thirdly, whether he is the person named in the request for extradition.
El tercero es si usted es la persona que está nombrada en la extradición.
And fourth, whether he is in fact a fugitive from justice.
Y 4, de que si usted de hecho es un fugitivo de la justicia.
He cannot contest the issue of his guilt or innocence in the state of Georgia.
Usted no puede impugnar si es usted culpable o inocente en el estado de Georgia.
He is also entitled to the advice of an attorney in contesting extradition.
Usted también tiene el derecho de ser aconsejado por un abogado acerca de impugnar la extradición.
He is also entitled to the advice of an attorney if he deciding whether to waive extradition.
Usted también tiene el derecho de recibir el consejo de un abogado acerca de si quiere renunciar a la extradición.
If the state is unable to extradite him within 30 days,
Si el Estado no puede extraditarlo en 30 días,
he may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days while awaiting extradition.
usted puede ser remitido a la cárcel del condado por unos adicionales 60 días para esperar para la extradición.
If the extradition is not completed in 90 days, then he will be released.
Si la extradición no se completa en 90 días, entonces usted será liberado.
At this time, does he have any question regarding anything that I just explained to him?
En este momento, ¿usted tiene alguna pregunta acerca de cualquier cosa de lo que yo le he explicado?
No, está bien, yo entendí.
No, that's fine, I understood.
Does he wish to fight the extradition or waive extradition and voluntary return to the state of Pennsylvania to answer the charge against him?
¿Usted en este momento desea usted pelear la extradición, renunciar a la extradición o volver de manera voluntaria al estado de Pensilvania para responder por las acusaciones contra usted?
Voluntaria para responder por las acusaciones contra mí.
Voluntarily.
So the question would be, does he waive extradition?
La pregunta entonces, ¿usted renuncia a la extradición?
Man, let me tell you in this. I'm ready for go voluntary, to Pennsylvania right away when you are ready. Okay, dile que yo quiero ir voluntariamente a Pensilvania a enfrentar las acusaciones porque yo voy a buscar un abogado allá.
I want to go voluntarily to the state of Pennsylvania to face the charges that they have against me. I will find an attorney there.
Okay, but again, for legal purposes, does he waive extradition, yes or no?
Sorry, man, let me explain to you, man.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, I want to go to Pennsylvania.
No, my question again, sir, is does he waive extradition, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. If you waive extradition, the deputy will provide you with copies of the waiver to sign to return to me.
Right here, Your Honor.
Yeah, he had a.
Does he have any other question before he's remanded back to custody?
¿Alguna otra pregunta antes que regrese de nuevo a la custodia?
No.
Thank him.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Okay, sir, please wait. I'm sorry, please state your full name for the record.
Diga su nombre completo para el acta.
No, I don't need no interpreter. Your Honor, he doesn't need an interpreter.
Okay, what is his name? Okay, let me go off the record and I'm going to conclude my end the call with the interpreter and then I'll come back on the record. We are back on the record.
State your name for me.
Isaac White.
Good afternoon, Mr. White. Again, my name is Judge Tamika West. This hearing is what is called an extradition hearing. All of the rights that I have advised everyone of early also apply in your case. Okay. But your hearing is a little bit different from the other first appearance hearings that have taken place. You do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County. You have been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you in another state, and they're requesting that you return to that state to answer the charge. Based on the information that I've received, it appears that the state of Tennessee is requesting your extradition for a felony. You understand that?
What's the felony?
Okay. Failure to appear on a warrant.
The extradition is for failure to appear.
Well, the charge in Tennessee states that you failed to appear for a warrant.
Okay.
And they have the warrant number 112153. And they indicated it's considered to be a felony.
The failure to appear or the warrant?
Well, you failed to appear on a warrant. You received a warrant and then you failed to appear. You understand that? Okay. My next question is, are you in fact Isaac Scott White?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you already have an attorney representing you in this matter? Yes or no?
No.
As I previously relayed, sir, you are charged with being a fugitive from justice as follows. I'm sorry, okay, here. The hearing is being conducted pursuant to Georgia state law, Title 7, Chapter 13. As you've heard, it is alleged that you are charged with failure to appear on a warrant from the state of Tennessee. You have a choice as to whether you wish to contest extradition or to waive extradition and be returned to the other state without going through the formal extradition process. If you decide that you wish to contest extradition, the court may commit you to the county jail for an initial period of 30 days. During that time, a warrant will be prepared for the governor's signature for your extradition to the other state. The court may consider allowing you to post bond, but the court is not required to allow bond in your case. Therefore, I'm not setting bond in your case as you wanted by another jurisdiction. If you do not wish to voluntarily return to the state of Tennessee, you may file a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition. The writ of habeas corpus can only contest 4 things. The first thing is whether the extradition documents are in order on their face. Secondly, whether you are charged with a crime that actually exists in the demanding state of Tennessee. Thirdly, whether you are the person named in the request for extradition. And fourth, whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. However, you cannot contest the issue of your guilt or innocence in the state of Georgia. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
You are also entitled to the advice of counsel in contesting extradition or in deciding whether to waive extradition. If the state is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days awaiting your extradition. If the extradition is not completed in 90 days, you will be released. Do you have any questions regarding anything I just explained to you?
No.
Do you wish to contest extradition or waive formal extradition and voluntary return to the state of Tennessee to answer the charges against you?
Voluntarily waive. I waive my rights to go back.
Okay, not waive your rights, or are you waiving, listen to my question, do you waive formal extradition? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. If you decide to waive, then the deputy will provide you with copies of the waiver to sign to return to me. Do you have any additional questions?
No.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Your Honor, that's gonna be it for the,
Okay, I'm gonna go off the record, and I do have one question that I need to ask you. Let me go off the record.
yes, Your Honor.
Deputy,
Yes, Your Honor.
the last two defendants, can someone have them sign the waivers and then return them to me for my signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, can you do that in the next 30 minutes?
Do it in the next 10.
Okay, I appreciate it. Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, have a good one.